writing came in light form onto the sheet. I didn't have much of an education, so I couldn't read everything that came up, but I knew there were names. After a moment, I saw people. White people.
Hello, I'm Rob Word. Welcome to a very special A Word on Westerns. Today is my birthday, April 25th, and we were talking about what should we do special. And one of the most special events in my life, besides, of course, getting married and having a son, just having a good time, basically, is when I received my Golden Boot Award. I was honored and thrilled and was asked who I would like to be a presenter. And I said, Sidney. And they go, Poitier? And I went, there's only one Sidney. And that's who it was. Sidney Poitier is my presenter. You're going to see that today. And it's because I had wanted him to tell this wonderful story about his first movie, which happened to be a Western. He had told this to me several times, and each time he elaborated even more and made it so intriguing. A wonderful storyteller, Sidney is, and a prince, a wonderful man, so gracious and charming. And he loves Westerns, as do I. And so we always talk about Buck and the Preacher, and that was his first film as a director. But let me get back to what he's going to do at the Golden Boot Awards. Before I get my award, there's a presenter. Sidney was my presenter. And I said, please tell the story about your first movie. Now, Sidney was 11 years old when he came to the United States. He'd grown up in the Bahamas with no electricity, no plumbing, and didn't know what a movie was. But I'm going to let him tell you the story. Again, Sid, thank you, pal. This is a great thrill for me to see this again. It warms my heart, as do you.
People write things like, it's often said, but rarely meant as much as it is now, to introduce our first honoree as a man who needs absolutely no introduction. But he deserves the greatest introduction you could ever give. His name alone should be enough. The gracious Mr. Sidney Poitier.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be here. Your invitation lifted my spirits because I am closer than you would imagine to the cowboy world. First movie I ever saw in my life was a cowboy movie. And I was 10 and a half years old when that happened. It took so long because I grew up on an island where there were no movies. When I traveled to Nassau, which had movies, I was there 2 or 3 days. I made quite a few friends. And my newfound friend said one day to me, we're going to go to a matinee. Would you like to come along? I said, yes. I didn't know what the word matinee meant. But I was afraid to show my ignorance, so I didn't ask. I followed them. We walked toward the place where there was a building, and they went up. They said they were going to treat me, and they bought some little tickets. And we went into this building, and there were nothing but a lot of seats. And I wondered what was going to happen. Finally, the lights went down, and the curtain parted, and there was what appeared to be a sheet, white sheet. And suddenly, over our heads, writing came in light form onto the sheet. I didn't have much of an education, so I couldn't read everything that came up, but I knew there were names. After a moment, I saw people. White people. Needless to say, I was fascinated. Then I saw cows. And the first thing that entered my mind was, how could they get all those cows and those white people in this small building? I watched the activity, and after a while, there were some brown people up on a hill. But before we get to the hill, I was preoccupied with how they got the hill into this small building. Then a fight broke out between the white people and the brown people. The brown people had bow and arrows. The white people had guns, and they did shoot up each other. That was my introduction to motion pictures. Anyway, needless to say, at the end of the movie, on the way home, I still couldn't figure it out. So I told my friends to go ahead, I'll catch up with them. So I went back and I went around to the back of the theater. I am telling you the absolute truth. There was a door. It was closed. I stood by that door for hours, waiting for the white people and the brown people and the cows to come out. We honor people for several distinct reasons. We honor them because they are leaders with courage, imagination, and vision in a world where men with such gifts are in woefully short supply. We honor them because they are gifted beyond the fortunes of ordinary men. We honor them because they have an instinct for the extraordinary and the accompanying talent for turning sow's ears into silk purses. We honor them more often than not because they are, in addition, simply good people. And if they also happen to be stubborn as hell, that too will count for a lot. This man we're about to pay tribute to is talented, courageous, imaginative, visionary, and above all, stubborn. in the defense of those values and qualities that represents the best in all of us. His name is Rob Jennings Word. It is said that at the heart of things, there is a force that moves them. If that be so, then at the heart of a single seed sown by Peggy and Robert Word, his parents, was the force of love which pushed and pulled and moved that seed from conception onward through the miraculous channels that are nature's pathways along which that seed was destined to travel step by step to emerge in the end at the beginning of a new life in the form of a son to be named Rob Jennings Word. Over 54 years of achievement and achievement, through accompaniments and triumphs, that seed, that son, is present among us tonight, so that we can say thank you for all that it has become and all that Peggy and Robert Word's offspring has done for us, for his profession, and the family that produced him. When a man is excellent company for his friends and wonderful company for himself, he bears watching. When balance and peace centers him in an unsteady world, we should draw close and listen to his life. It is for a reason that he walks with purpose and speaks with candor. Get close enough, and the generosity of spirit that lights his way will also warm your heart. Over the past years, it has often come to my mind that my friend Rob Ward is such a man. When a remarkable honor is paid a friend, I am gratified. But not nearly so much as now when the friend is here with us in the healthy bloom of his middle years to receive it, taste of it, and walk away on to other challenges, leaving behind this unique reminder of victories won, risks taken, choices made. In our business, creative instinct walks a long, lonely line, daily. On the occasion it falters, we taste of defeat. When it stays steady and true, it brings us to nights like these, when tributes are in order and a collective thank you is loudly proclaimed. Let's turn to the videotape for a
moment. You're watching Western Roundup with your host, Rob Word.
Hi, I'm Rob Word. Welcome to the Western Roundup. This evening, for 30 minutes, we're going to be taking a look at one of the most popular genres ever to grace the silver screen, the Western. Thrill to their movies and then talk to the stars. The Western Film Roundup, 18 miles east of Orlando on I-4 at the Orlando Hyatt House. When you first started off, the ones that you did under the name of Dick Weston, you made about 4 of them with Gene Autry.
And I played a mean guy in the heavy, you know.
I went to a lot of trouble to find out when that Texas Ranger was coming into town. And not only do you miss him in broad daylight, you get wounded besides. Let me bring this amazing man out, Robert Duvall. At the height of his career, Roy Rogers was a great motion picture star. He was as big, if not bigger, than Errol Flynn, Humphrey Bogart, and Clark Gable.
Herb's exploits on the trail have been captured by fellow gang member Rob Word, an accomplished artist and movie industry executive, who's also an expert horseman.
He's grown a lot since Big Jake, but, you know, he's still got those rugged looks like
His brother, Michael Wayne. Michael's over there, too. Table 65, one of the great bad guys, did over 400 TV shows, Chris Alcade.
More land is going to be worth $1 an acre. Mark my word.
You got enough damn land, and you're already wealthy.
Are you son of a bitch who wrote this?
Clay Allison, who was not somebody you wanted to have mad at you.
Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold.
Once the location shooting in Tombstone was finished, we headed back to Los Angeles and started editing the pieces together. Then we began preparing a much-needed music score. With the help of associate producer Kate Edelman, we contacted legendary singer Johnny Cash in Nashville.
And long may his story be told.
Back in the West, when outlaws were vile, they were shouting and shooting. The West, it was wild, it was dangerous then, like it is today.
It's part of our mindset, it's what we love, and it's what we want to do. It's what we are. We are cowboys at heart.
It's the cowboy way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Jennings Word.
Well, this is a lot harder than introducing people to accept this award. Especially after coming from such kind and thoughtful words from Sidney, it's very nice. I want to thank the Golden Boot Award Committee and especially Andy Finity, who's not here right now, for nominating me. And, it's quite a thrill.